Welcome to our post-qualifying press conference ahead of the FIA Formula One Monaco Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton in third place will be joining us very shortly. Max Verstappen was second and taking his fourth pole position and his first here in Monaco, our pole sitter, Kimi Antonelli. Kimi, very well done. It looked like an extraordinary lap. Just how good was it?
Yeah, it was a good lap, very good lap. I was able to put everything together, and it was so tight. I mean, to be fair, I did not expect Max and Red Bull to be there because in FP3 they had a struggle, but you know, an incredible job by them to recover and to be there because you know, it was such a tight fight. And but yeah, I'm very happy to come away with pole, and now looking forward to tomorrow.
You say you were able to put it all together, but was there one corner or one sector where you were particularly happy with the car?
I mean, it was, to be fair, the start of the session of the quali was a little bit more difficult than we expected. The track felt a little bit weird, a little bit off. So the car felt a little bit more oversteery than FP3, for example. But then the grid came back, and yeah, the car just started to come more together. And I was happy mainly in the lab with the Sector 2, where we struggle a little bit more during the weekend, especially in 5, 6, 7, and 8. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, very happy with that.
And Kimi, just from a driving point of view, just how much of a rush was Q3 for you today?
Big one. Still kind of shaking, to be fair. It's just super intense. You know, you have no margin of mistake. And when it's about polishing those last 2-3 tenths, it's never easy. And especially, you know, when Max is so close, and also the Ferrari Lewis has been so strong the whole weekend. Definitely is not easy, but obviously very happy to come away with pole today.
And let's talk about tomorrow. What's your approach to such a unique Grand Prix, especially when you've got two multiple world champions around you on the grid?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not for sure. I know who I have behind, and I know they're very good. So for sure they're gonna push me, and they're gonna try to put pressure. But yeah, first of all, we'll try to get a good start. Canada was a step forward, but tomorrow, of course, different conditions, and then we'll see. We still have, you know, you still need to have a good pace in hand because tire deck might be bigger than what we anticipate. I don't think. I mean, we didn't really try any long run. We did only a few laps, so we don't really have as much data. But for sure, we know that it's very difficult to overtake, but you still need to have the pace because in case of something happening, you need to push.
All right, very well done to you. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you, Kimi. Max, let's come to you. Kimi says he wasn't expecting you to be challenging for the pole in the way you were. Are you surprised by the pace of your car?
Quite a bit after this morning. We were like 9 tenths off. I was confident that we would make some improvements heading into qualifying, but yeah, not to fight for pole. Honestly, when I jumped into the car, I was like, okay, let's try and recover a bit, maybe top 5. That was the target, but I have to say from quite early on in qualifying, yeah, the car felt a bit better. I mean, we still have our little problems, and especially I think in the middle sector, that's where we lose the most, where you have a few curbs that you have to take, and there are a few bumps or right stuff in the track that it's just a little bit more complicated at the moment for our car. But I still think that overall we had a very good qualifying. I mean, we were up there, we were fighting for pole. So even if you would have told me after yesterday, where we looked quite okay, to be starting on the front row, I would have immediately taken it. So yeah, for us it's been a very good turnaround. Yesterday I was quite happy, this morning really not happy, and now I'm fairly happy again. So that's of course good when it matters, you know. So yeah, this was of course the most important session of the weekend. Of course, tomorrow there's still a start, which this year seems a little bit more critical to get right compared to other years where it was not such a big deal, I would say. So that's still something that we have to look at. But yeah, overall for us, this has been a very positive weekend.
And Max, when it's so close, just 43 100ths off pole, can you visualize where you lost that time, just such a small amount?
I never do that, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it's close. Sometimes you're just ahead, sometimes you're just behind. You know, that's life. But for me, I was happy with my lap. You know, so when I crossed the line, I was like, okay, if someone beats that, fair enough. that's part of it. Yeah, we just came up short. But like I explained, we had a very difficult FP3. So to be in that final quali, yeah, great effort from the team.
All right, Max, very well done to you. Good luck tomorrow. And Lewis, if we could come to you, very well done to you. You look like you've been enjoying yourself out there all weekend. You're 2/10 off pole. Was that the maximum from the car?
Yes. Unfortunately, today, big congrats to Kimi. No, we were looking really strong throughout the weekend, and it's always so much fun driving around this track. And I felt great in the car, and I think we made progress yesterday, and then coming into today, we took a bit of a step back. We lost some performance overnight, and then going into qualifying, the car was really in a bad place. So you see a Q1, I was like 7/10 down or something like that, and had to make huge adjustments to the wing in order to try and rebalance the car for some reason. So I'm not quite sure exactly what went wrong. We'll deep dive into it, but I think ultimately we lost the chance to fight for the front row going into quali with the balance that we ended up with. So it was a bit of a surprise, but I'm still grateful. I got everything I could out of it at the end with the balance that I had, and the car was on the edge. I was on the edge as much as I could be.
If you'd made different changes on Friday night, do you think pole position was in the capability of the car? It's just that you went the wrong way on setup?
I don't think we went the wrong way with setup. That's the thing. I think we're tiniest tweaks, you know, like a millimeter here, a millimeter there. So tiniest tweaks, but we really need to look into what switched, because the car was like completely different to what it was before, and I didn't have any rear end for some reason, which I'd had good balance most of the weekend. So yeah, I do think with the pace that we had yesterday, I think we could have been closer. You know, these guys really started putting out some amazing times at the end. So fair play to them, and you know, we'll push hard tomorrow. Hopefully we can keep up, and who knows, maybe we could have a really good start.
Lewis, final one from me. You've driven a lot of different cars here in Monaco. Just how much did you enjoy driving the 26 car today?
I think probably one of my least favorites of all the generations I've driven around here. Just the super light downforce. It really is like a step down of generation of car, like grip wise. Our pressures are super high. Even though we have 100 points or so less downforce this year, we have much higher. You know, back in the days we used to run like 16 psi, and now we're up at 28 or 26 or something crazy. Maybe here it's like 24. So it's very high, and ultimately mechanical grip is not what it used to be. And I remember when I was here in like 2007, 2008, there was so much more grip. It was even more fun back then. But it wasn't terrible. I still had fun. But I'm comparing all the generations. Maybe the 2020 was probably the best period for us grip-wise.
In terms of grip, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for that. Let's now open this to the floor. Please remember to give your name and publication. Who's first, please?
Fred Ferrer, l'équipe. Question to Kimi. How is the situation with your start? And another question for Max and Lewis. Do you have any advice for the poleman in Monaco for the start tomorrow?
I mean, the start in Montreal, for the first time, I didn't lose. Well, I still lost a place on Sunday, but for the first time, I didn't lose like 6 or 7 places. So it was a step forward. So it's a pretty short run into Monaco. into turn 1. So yeah, just need to get a clean start. Don't try to do the magic start, and then we see from there.
Any advice, guys?
So when the lights go out, you wait 1 second, and then that's my advice.
Yeah. And
1 step behind, so 2 seconds.
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Okay, thank you. Next one, please.
John over from the race. To Lewis, you said earlier the setup didn't change much overnight. What's your best guess about what made the difference from yesterday to today? Was tyre preparation? Was the track ramping up? Did that shift the car balance?
I really don't. I really don't know. I mean, all weekend, I think for us, apart from like wanting more downforce globally, I think when we arrived on Thursday, we saw other people with, those guys with trick additions to their wing. We didn't have that, which was a little bit of a surprise. But as I said, our pace was looking good. In general, like to go quicker, we needed more front end. We got to qualifying and I had a lot of front end, and I had to take out like 10 holes of front wing for some reason. And so once I took out the 10 holes, the car was a little bit more reasonable. But by my last lap in Q3, but I needed that balance to start in Q1 and then build upon that, because it's all about confidence. I didn't have, it was completely gone in Q1, and then I was trying to pull back what I could. So I think I'm relatively happy with P3. Obviously, P1 is what I really wanted, and I really felt like the team deserved to finally get it. And I felt capable. I'm in a really good place with the car. I'm in a really good place with the team. And, you can see that I have decent pace still in me. There's no lacking of pace, which I'm really grateful and happy about, regardless of all the negative comments people have made over the times. So it's good. I just keep on putting the work in, and I'll keep showing up, and I'll keep delivering.
Thank you. Next one.
Christian Mehnert, Motorsport-Magazin.com. Question for Max, and if Lewis or Kimi want to touch on it as well, you're more than welcome. You were already talking about the chassis regulations here. Max, you haven't been the biggest fan of the engine regulation, but this qualifying here in Monaco, was it the first time completely flat out? Did you enjoy it?
I think the chassis regulation is not that bad at all. So I think in general, the cars being a little bit more narrow and stuff, I think it was all right. Also, I quite like now the vision on the front axle is a bit better around apexes again, instead of that thing we had above the tire before. So I mean, that's good. Of course, I mean, if you can go flat out and you can just select the gears that you want to use in the corners, it's always going to be better. So I finally felt just myself again in the car, let's say like that, with the way you want to use the gears. Unfortunately, of course, we can't do that in too many places on the calendar, but that's what then makes it more and more natural to drive, for sure.
Kimi or Lewis, any thoughts on the PU?
Yeah, I have to agree. Even though our PU is great, but today was the first qualifying where also in the out lap didn't have to manage the battery or look at the steering wheel to match, the power, not, just the combustion, just to maximize combustion and not use any battery opening the lap. So it was a qualifying where you were just thinking about driving and going as fast as you could.
No more? Okay, next one.
GP blog. Lewis and Max, you've won here, you've had multiple championships. Now you see Kimi accelerating here, a great lap. Do you see the real future champion in this guy if he does this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you see a few guys grow up from younger categories that have something special, and when they switch categories, they're immediately quick. I think that was quite clear with Kimi. So that was not a surprise. But then, of course, when you get to Formula One, sometimes it's not, of course, only talent. Things have to come together. You need to become a more all-round driver. And then, of course, you need to have the package to be able to to do it. But I think this year he's showing that, you know, once he has a package that can do it, he is delivering as a driver. So that's great to see. And yeah, that's what he has to do.
Okay. All right, next, please.
Ronald Vording, Motorsport.com. It's one for Kimi, specifically on the final sector. How stressful has that been? Because Max just put in the quickest time. You probably saw in your Delta that you were on a good one as well. But how do you then nail the risk versus reward judgment in that last sector?
Well, to be fair, I didn't know how much I was improving. I just saw before the tunnel the Delta, and then I saw it on the finish line. I didn't know the time that Max did when I was doing the lap, so it felt a good lap. You know, it felt like things just came together. But I didn't know where I was. I just felt, especially that sector 2, that felt great. But then, of course, I got the confirmation on the radio. So, yeah, just obviously it's so intense here that what you just think is about trying to drive as fast as you can without obviously doing mistakes. And then, obviously, you see once you cross the finish line where you end up.
Thank you for that. Any more, please?
Yes, Graham Harris, Motorsport Monday. Question for all three of you. With the narrower cars and the fact that you can go flat out and you're not watching for batteries, do you think there might be a bit of overtaking during this Grand Prix?
I think very difficult still, unless I wait for 1 second for the light or 2 seconds, or you know, unless you do a big mistake. I think it's very, very, very difficult. Just because also, yeah, it's just still it's Monaco, so.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the other categories, right? Even F2, F3, it's very hard. It's just a little bit, yeah, the layout, the curvature of some corners, they don't lend to even have a go, you know, because you can easily cover it off. So yeah, it's hard.
All right, another one, please.
Phil Duncan, PA. Just one for Lewis. I was going to ask you, basically, if you think you can win tomorrow, but given the comments about the overtaking, it might be a bit difficult. But do you think you've got a chance to win the race tomorrow?
I mean, you know how these races go. It's very, very difficult. I don't think there's overtaking. I hope that we can get a really good start and maybe apply some pressure to the two, and we kind of need rain probably. But nothing's impossible. If you apply the pressure, it's going to be very hard to beat these two. You've got two great drivers who are in quick cars and have been very quick all weekend. So it's a shame this race is generally often such a procession in the sense of just that we're just often following each other, and car is always overheating, brakes are always overheating, just with the way the track is, and obviously we only have really like one stop because the tires are so hard and often go so far. So I hope there's a genius way of making this race even more fun from a driver's perspective and from a fan perspective, like in future. But I don't know. I'm going to still give it absolutely everything and try and hassle them as much as I can and try and force them into not making certain corners.
Thank you. Another one.
Luis Vasconcelos from La Presse. Kimi, you thought Miami was going to be tough. You won. You thought Monaco was not going to be a great circuit for Mercedes. You're on pole position. Where did the car surprise you? In which areas the car surprised you this weekend? And after this, is there any track you still fear?
Nice. Sorry. To be fair, I have to be honest, the team did a incredible, big turnaround compared to yesterday in terms of setup. Yesterday, I'm not going to lie, we were struggling. And so the team did a great job with overnight correlation to do big changes on setup, and the car just felt much more alive this morning. And just, you know, it was also more, how how can I say, it was also forgiving much more to curb, cutting, bumps. So the team did a great job with the setup, and that was what made us gain so much in terms of performance between yesterday and today, and allowed us to fight for pole.